Hello, my friends. It's Georgie from Tittle Tattle Tarot. And today I have a little bit of gossip, perhaps, a little bit of tittle tattle. A dear friend of mine came up with something that very much surprised me. And I thought, could that actually be true? So I had to come and get the cards out and see what my deviant moon would think about this proposal. So my dear friend has said to me that I should do a reading on Mark Bowden from the behaviour panel and the possibility of him actually being HG Tudor. Now, my first response to that was, oh, no, Mark couldn't possibly be HG Tudor. And then I thought about it and I thought, well, Mark has a long career in show business. He is very, very adept at altering his voice. He's very, very good with accents. The whole thing about HG Tudor being a narcissistic sociopath or psychopath would have to be a big story then, because Mark Bowden definitely isn't any of those things. But Mark Bowden has a very deep knowledge about the subject. So, it's interesting. If you're from the UK, HG Tudor, there is something very strange about his accent. You probably wouldn't pick it up if you're American, but if you're English, you may well pick up on the fact that he often says words with a northern accent. And that's really interesting. Just certain words, he pronounces them in a way that is common in the north of England. And yet he has such a strong accent of, sort of the south of England. So it's very interesting. There are certain words that he pronounces in a very strange way, like he's trying to disguise his voice. And I think Mark is originally from the north of England. I don't know. I'm guessing that. But what an interesting thought. And because Tittle Tattle Tarot is all about, just looking at these strange little stories and having a bit of fun, let's just see what the cards say. Is HG Tudor, is he Mark Bowden from the behaviour panel? Could that at all be possible? Could that at all be possible? I'm just going to pull from the top. What have we got here? The Tower. Ace of Swords in reverse. That's a lie. I don't think he is. I think Mark Bowden has got such a lot on his plate doing what he does. I think to create a whole personality of HG Tudor and put in the hours that HG Tudor puts in, as well as all the work that Mark Bowden puts in on his behaviour panel and everything that he does, would just be too much. The Tower is very often, I see it as the straw that breaks the camel's back, if that makes sense. It's like the last straw. The Tower is very often like the spine. I think that Mark Bowden has so much work to do and is so prolific in his own right to sort of create another personality and have all that going on as well. That would be the final straw. That would be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I don't think he has time or the energy to do it. Although I think he'd be very capable of putting on an accent and fooling everybody. I think he'd very, 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 very clever to think that it was him. And then, of course, the Ace of Swords in reverse. No, I don't believe it was. But do listen to HG Tudor. And if you're from the UK, especially, because you'll be able to pick up on it, just hear certain words that he says. And I pick up on it because my mother's from Lancashire in the north of England, and she says certain things. And I'm like, oh, you sound like you've from Lancashire when you say that, you know, and it's just odd because he's got such a very strong sort of classical English, you know, sort of upper crust accent, and then he puts in these northern words every now and again. So I think he is hiding something. I don't think that is his real voice. But as for Mark Bowden being HG Tudor, I can't go for it with those cards, but what a fascinating thought. Anyway, thank you to my lovely friend. And it was very, very good fun reading on it. Anyway, speak to you soon. Bye bye.